we want to get Isaac back online across the country, we need to reconnect the local system to the satellite network. We should be able to do that at the NOAA headquarters building.
Get to the control room. I can walk you through the process from there.
Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my first build for TU12, my Capacitor Waveform build. Now, this thing has been smashing through NPCs and has been a lot of fun to use. The mix between your skills and the weapon is just really nice. It's just something new, fresh out of the box, finally something to switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So as always, I hope you all enjoy and find this video helpful. If you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Subscribe for future Division content if you are new to the channel. You can hit me up on Twitter and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So let's get into this. Alright everyone, and here it is. So as you can see up top there, I'm going to be using the Technician specialization simply because it allows us to spec into that extra 10% skill damage. That's what this build is all about. Skill damage, skill haste, all the way. Now also by using the Technician, we get that +1 skill tier, right? That is going to allow us to use these nice Fenris gloves that are going to give us an extra 10% assault rifle damage for wearing them, as well as that red core attribute of weapon damage, pushing our assault rifle just that little bit more because we all know on an all yellow build, the weapons are kind of lacking, right? And we are still at skill tier 6. So, gotta love that right there, guys. I've been having a blast with it. Now, as far as the core attributes go, we're talking 1 red, 0 blue, 5 yellow. The minor attributes, we have 0 red, 0 blue, and 12 yellow. So, mainly yellow on yellow except for those gloves. Our armor is at 726,000, 331 health at skill tier 6. And I'm going to be using the striker drone as well as the assault turret. So, pretty straightforward on that. Let's get on to these weapons. Alright, so for my primary weapon, it is the Capacitor. I love this thing. This thing has been awesome. And it's really, really easy to get. If you don't have one, all you need to do is complete 5 challenges on Summit mode, and you'll get this weapon. It's that simple. It doesn't matter what 5 challenges, but if you pick the right ones and you do them more or less in the right order, I guess you could say, you'll get this thing in about a half hour, 45 minutes tops. It's super easy. I thought it was kind of comical how easy it was to get, but hey, I am not complaining. Also, I think they kind of did a pretty good job on this weapon. The aesthetics are pretty nice. He's got this nice little shine to it, and you know, looks almost like the chameleon to me. It reminds me of that. I don't understand that ACOG scope on top. I don't know what the hell that is because it's got like a 1-inch barrel, but it is what it is. Moving on, we got 85.4k per bullet base damage, 700 RPM with 41 in the mag. Got some pretty good attributes there. It's almost god rolled. It's getting there, but I am not touching it. It's good enough for me. I'll just screw it up. Moving on to the talent. This is where it's at. Oh boy. Capacitance? Capacitance. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure, but either way. Shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5 skill damage. So if you do the math on that, that's 60% skill damage when you have 40 stacks. 60%. All you have to do is shoot the enemies. That's it. I mean, that is insane. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. But on a gun that has 700 RPMs, it's nothing to just kind of burst another NPC and get them stacks back up. And also, for every yellow that you have, every skill tier, you gain 7.5 weapon damage. I mean, that's amazing. So with me with that red on there, I'm actually gaining more than if I had like another yellow on there per se. So just keep that in the back of your head. But other than that, I mean, that's the weapon. I have been loving it. My secondary, of course, we all know what this is. The Harmony, perfect in sync. I mean, straightforward on that. What skill build would be complete without one, right? So other than that, let's get on to these gear pieces. Alright, and we can start right here with the mask. It is Hana U. We have the 3-piece active giving us that plus 10% skill haste, plus 10% skill damage, and plus 5% weapon damage. So I just figured if we use that 3-piece Hana U, we get that extra 5% weapon damage. Every yellow that we get gives us an extra 7.5 weapon damage on the capacitor, and we have 1-piece Fenris. So our assault rifle can actually do a little bit of damage on this skill build. I mean, it is what it is. It's been working out awesome. Now, as far as the attributes on here, we have 1 skill tier, and we have all maxed out rolls here. We have skill haste, skill damage, and a skill haste mod. You know, so pretty straightforward on that. Like I said, everything skill haste, skill damage. So, moving on to the chest piece. Alright, so onto the chest piece. It is Wyvern. We get that plus 10% skill damage just for wearing it. Gotta love that right there. Plus 1 skill tier, and the attributes, again, skill haste, skill damage, and skill haste for the mod. Push those as much as you can, and you will not be in a bad place. Now, as far as the talent goes, I went with Glass Cannon. All damage you deal is amplified by 25%. That's all damage, so that does include your skills, but all damage you take is amplified by 50%. So make sure you're using cover, pick your shots wisely, and you'll be doing a whole bunch of damage. So other than that, moving on to the holster. Alright, so onto the holster here. It is the Waveform Exotic. I have been loving this thing, and it is brand new. You acquire this by completing level 90 on your season track, so essentially all you need to do is get a whole bunch of XP. Now, if you're not in a hurry, just go ahead and play the game, and you'll eventually get this. But if you'd like to get it quickly, what I did, I went into the Dark Zone, and I just basically farmed the landmarks for about, I don't know, 8 hours or so. It was terrible. I hate the Dark Zone, but it is what it is. I wanted to grind it out, get that XP, and get this thing and try it out, and it has been worth it. Plus 1 skill tier. It came maxed out, so I can't complain there. 10% skill damage, 12% skill haste, but the talent is where it's at. Alternating current. Generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. So that's potential 30% at 10 stacks, right? That's pretty nice right there, on top of everything else we got going on this build. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The process then repeats ad infinitum, so basically infinity. So it keeps going back and forth every 10 stacks. And when you see the one skill at 10 stacks, you pop it, and then the next one gets to 10, and you use that. Oh boy, it gets nasty real fast. You're doing all kinds of damage, especially when you max out that capacitor and you got that glass cannon going. And again, we haven't even got to the backpack yet, so it is what it is, guys. Definitely, when you get this, try it out. It is a lot of fun. So other than that, moving on to the knee pads. Okay, so onto the knee pads here. They are Hana U. We have that plus 1 skill tier on there, as well as, you guessed it, skill haste and skill damage. Push that as much as you can, and you will be loving it. Now, moving on to the gloves. They are Fenris. We have that plus 10% assault rifle damage just for wearing them, as well as a red core, giving us some more weapon damage. And you got to remember, every yellow that we have on this build pushes our weapon damage up 7.5% on the capacitor. So by putting this piece on, we can actually have a fighting chance with our assault rifle on a essentially all yellow build, a skill build. And you got to remember too, we're still at skill tier 6 because we are using that technician. So pretty straightforward on that, guys. And let's move on to the last piece here. Alright, so on to the final piece. It is the Force Multiplier, the named HANA-U backpack. We got that +1 skill tier, and you guessed it, some more skill damage, skill haste, and some more skill haste on there. So just push that as much as you can. I can't reinforce that enough, but the talent is where it's at. Perfect combined arms. Now this used to work out awesome on skill builds with the Harmony with Perfect in Sync, which is why I still have the Harmony with Perfect in Sync on the build, but it works even better with the Capacitor. Remember, the Capacitor maxed out, you get 60% skill damage up, and it's just by shooting. Well, with Perfect Combined Arms, shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. Now, it's not for a long time, but you're constantly going to be shooting to keep your stacks up with the Capacitor and proccing this all the time. And when you proc this with a 40 stack on the Capacitor, that's 90% skill damage up alone, right there. 90%. With the backpack talent and a maxed out Capacitor. Gotta love that right there. So other than that, guys, that's the build. Let's take a look at these skills and we'll be off to the stat sheet. Alright, so on to these skills. I'm going to be using a striker drone as well as an assault turret. Pretty straightforward on that. They work great hand in hand. I know a lot of people use this combination right here, but I'm mainly using it because of the duration. And I say that because of the way that the waveform acts. Generates a stack of skill damage, and then when it maxes out, it swaps over to the other skill, right? So it's just going back and forth, back and forth. So I wanted some skills that had a nice duration on them, and as you can see, 216 seconds on both of them. So basically I can set them out there and just let the holster do its job. Let it go back and forth and buff each of them back and forth, and I don't really have to worry about a whole lot. So it is what it is. Now as far as the striker drone goes, we got 11.1 second cooldown, so even if it does get popped, I mean, it's back in 11 seconds, no big deal. The health is 2.7 million, the duration 216 seconds, the damage 74,000 base, and we are at skill tier 6. So pretty straightforward on that. Gotta love that striker drone. Now moving on to the assault turret here, the cooldown is only 10.4 seconds, so when that gets popped, if it gets popped, you know, you can get that back real quick. The duration 216 seconds, the health 5.5 million, so good luck breaking that thing. The damage base is 132,000 at skill tier 6. So gotta love these combinations, guys. Let me know what you would run as far as combinations for these skills down in the comments. I'd be interested to know what your opinion would be. So other than that, guys, let's move on to the stat sheet before we go ahead and sign off. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little recap breakdown here on the stat sheet. Now again, the weapon talents that I'm going to be using, primarily I'm going to be using capacitance on my primary, the capacitor. I have the perfect in sync on my harmony just for backup. Preservation on my sidearm, no big deal, but we got some guided missiles. Those are always fun. We have the weapon damage here, 85,000 per bullet. Nothing too crazy. We have 20% crit chance. Oh, that's sad, but it's an all yellow build. I'm not used to these kind of low numbers. 75 crit damage, 75 headshot. We got some armor damage. We got a little bit of health damage. Our range is not too bad, 28 meters. 1.8 second reload time, so click clack, you're going again. Got some reload speed, bonus accuracy, all that good stuff. Nothing too crazy. Now as far as offense goes, we're talking 72.3 all weapon damage bonus right there, and then we have 37.9 assault rifle damage bonus, so not too bad for a skill build, I'd have to say right there. Now as far as the talents go, I am using perfect combined arms on the backpack, glass cannon on the chest piece, and we have alternating current on the holster. Now as far as the brand sets go, we have 3-piece HANA-U, 1-piece Wyvern, 1-piece Fenris, and then we have that exotic holster right there. So nothing too crazy to go out and get. That holster just might take a little bit of time to get there, but you'll get it eventually. Now as far as defense goes, nothing too crazy. 726,000 armor, got 331 health. Not too much health regen. We got a little bit of resistance and stuff going on down here. Nothing too crazy. And we kind of already went over the skills. Let's just take a look here. We have 126% skill haste on this build. 126% on the dot. Look at that. Not too bad, I'd have to say. So, you know, that's the build in a whole, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.